thank you, and welcome to Fayes Politics. Uh, as you can see, we are a very, very basic and very, shall we say, community-oriented program designed to bring you information and knowledge about politics as it relates to our community, and our community being that of black people, of ethnic people, and of people of conscience. I am going to try in the few minutes that we have together on these various broadcasts. I will be doing a new broadcast probably every other day, and we'll be addressing various topics. Uh, and I want you to join in. I want you to give me your opinion, your feedback. I want you to remember when you're doing that feedback that everybody has an opinion, and neither my opinion nor your opinion dominates everybody else's opinion. One of the things that I hope you will participate in and enjoy is that it's my goal to bring you people that you normally don't see. And I'm putting a special emphasis in these first broadcasts on people under 40. And the reason I've decided to look at people and to deal with people under 40 is so many of us have said that the generation that came behind the civil rights generation is in fact a lost generation. Nothing could be further from the truth. There are millions of people in that age range who do all that they should do and all that they can to make not just their family, not just their community, but the world a better place to live. So you're going to see a lot of them here. I'm also one that has not drank the Kool-Aid about the situation in Washington. We have a black president, we have a black attorney general, and we have approximately 37, over 30, oh, let's put it this way, we have over 40 members of Congress who are black, and we just had a state in North, South Carolina just appointed a black to the U.S. Senate. Now, whether you agree with that person or not, they are still there. They are still black, and we still have the right to present to them issues as they relate to black and ethnic people. Uh, I want you to understand too that you have to become engaged in the politics within your community. That means that you must be registered to vote, and not only must you be registered to vote, you have to actively participate in the voting process. You have to make sure that when you cast your vote, that you know the candidate that you're voting for, you know what their position is, and how that position will affect you. I'm a little bit tired of hearing about big business and what big business needs and not the needs of the everyday person. But that cannot be addressed unless you're voting. In most communities, there are enough registered but inactive voters to change the tide of the election. So that's another thing you're going to see here. You're going to see people from within the community talking about elections and as they affect them. I'm also going to invite candidates when election time comes to sit down and to talk about their position, not just that foolishness that they say on mainstream TV, but what they plan to do for you. Now, with that said, I'd like to tell you the following. You have the power. The power exists within you. I always, people criticize me for saying this, but one of my favorite movies is The Wizard of Oz. And the reason I like The Wizard of Oz is because no matter what age you see The Wizard of Oz, it relates to you. And that became true when they did a black version and called it The Wiz. Because as we learned in The Wiz, it doesn't matter how old you are, there is still Dorothy in us. And what we have to learn about the Dorothy in us is that we too have to step on the yellow brick road. And in this case, that yellow brick road is towards our destiny. As Frederick Douglass said over 100 years ago, power concedes nothing with demand. So what you have to do is to demand that politics become relevant to you. And for those of you who don't believe that politics affect your everyday life, let me explain it to you this way. Everything that happens because of politics. And if you think I'm joking, those of you who have who got your paycheck the first part of January 2013, you realize two things. Your check was smaller. And why was your check smaller? Your check was smaller because the government elected, as they say, elected to stop allowing you to take taxes out of get credit for taxes that were in your check. This is by no means a perfect, as you can see, uh, conversation, but it is my opinion and it is what I believe will work and will not work. So what I want you to do, I want you to sit back, I want you to enjoy yourself, and I am going to try to bring up one of my favorite things from Gil Scott-Heron, which is called B-Movie. And the reason I like B-Movie is because B-Movie lets you know one thing, that politics have not changed, that the same issues we faced in the 70s, we're facing right now. So with that said, I'm going to try my best to get it to come up and to make it play. And I know there's somebody out there laughing saying this show is a ghetto production. It is. But you know what? Your heart and soul has to be in the right place. So with that said, remember two things. The power is in you and you have to seize that power if you want it to relate.
Not even 26% of the American people, but 26% of the registered voters form a mandate
So
or a
be
landslide.
blessed, be powerful. And I look forward to seeing you again. Please come back.
Voted for somebody else who might have been right. But oh yeah, I remember in this year that we have now declared the year from Shogun to Raygun. I remember what I said about Raygun. Minute acted like an actor. Hollywood acted like a liberal. Acted like General Franco when he acted like governor of California. Then he acted like a Republican. Then he acted like somebody was going to vote for him for president. And now we act like 26% of the registered voters is actually a mandate. We're all actors in this, I suppose. What has happened is that in the last 20 years, America has changed from a producer to a consumer. And all consumers know that when the producer names the tune, the consumer has got to dance.